The King of Jordan has arrested his own brothers and cousin. King Abdullah is reported to have arrested the three men at their homes after they allegedly spoke to Saudi and Emirati leaders about a coup against him.
Given the behavior of the Saudi regime, in particular Prince Mohammed bin Salman, I wouldn't be surprised if he would at least try to establish a network to replace the King of Jordan if need be. This is very hard to understand because Jordan has always been, close to the Saudi royal family, if not because of out of conviction, then out of interest. Jordan is dependent on Saudi Arabia for a huge part of its trade and budget.
Jordan has close but uneasy relationships with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Amman has been wary of the regional powers, particularly after the rise of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
There is a lot of distrust of Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Jordan, and people in Jordan for the first time, probably in many years, started to criticize openly the Saudis. So there is something happening. It's not easy to understand what's happening behind the scenes, but there are changes happening in the relationship between Jordan and Saudi Arabia.
Like many others in the Middle East, the Jordanians have been rather skeptical of bin Salman's rapid cultural, economic, and strategic shift in the kingdom and the region. In particular, Jordan is now worried that the Saudis are moving too fast to normalize ties with the Israeli regime at the expense of Palestinian interests.
I believe there's something going on. It may have to do with with these arrangements, that new relationship between Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Trump, and Netanyahu, the Israeli government, who are trying to form an alliance, which seems to be against the interest of the King of Jordan, who views himself as the spokesperson for the Arabs when it comes to America and the Jewish state and all of that. So that competition may be irritating to the King of Jordan.
Amman is irritated irritated with bin Salman's new agenda to strip the Hashemite kingdom of its custodianship over the holy sites of Jerusalem al-Quds. King Abdullah has aroused the anger of the Saudi and UAE leaders by developing close ties with Turkey and Qatar, currently strong opponents to Riyadh and Abu Dhabi. Abdullah has also been outspoken in his criticism of U.S. President Donald Trump, a key Saudi ally, after his recognition of Jerusalem al-Quds as Israel's capital. Attempts by Saudi Arabia to take over the region have led to many Middle East allies questioning how much they can trust the kingdom. The Persian Gulf nations in particular have been very critical of unilateral actions by Riyadh, which they must comply with.
Prince Mohammed bin Salman, ever since the Trump administration decided to prop him up with that visit to Saudi Arabia and given him the green light to become the next king of Saudi Arabia, I believe that he presented himself as someone who can deliver, especially in negotiating with someone like Donald Trump, who is very transactional. I believe that he probably thinks he can boss around people like Al-Hariri, King of Jordan, Qatari Emir, and all of these attempts have failed. He's failed. The regime is failing in Yemen. The regime is failed in Lebanon. They could not influence Hezbollah. And therefore, they probably have a deep sense of frustration that things are not easily altered in the Middle East.
Jordan has had a long-standing image of being a neutral and well-regarded state within a region as volatile as the Middle East. However, the Saudi stances towards even its allies has concerned many leaders in the region to put up their guard.